Ladies and gentlemen, this is an urgent financial briefing with immediate relevance for holders of the Vietnamese dong and the Iraqi dinar. Tensions have escalated, markets are shifting, and experts are sounding alarms that the next 72 hours could prove pivotal. If you hold these currencies, your decisions now may determine whether you protect your assets or face losses in untold volatility. I urge you to listen closely and act swiftly. This morning, global markets reacted sharply as new data surfaced, showing accelerated inflation in Vietnam, driven by surging energy costs and supply chain disruptions. The dong weakened noticeably against major currencies, rattling confidence among export-dependent businesses and private investors. Simultaneously, developments in Iraq have stirred mounting uncertainty. Political gridlock, renewed debate over oil revenue sharing, and simmering security concerns have destabilized the backdrop for the dinar, which has been pinned by speculation for months. The convergence of these events is putting extraordinary stress on holders of currencies already under pressure. If you are holding large sums in dong or dinars, the situation demands your undivided attention. Analysts report that in the event of further escalation on either front, be it inflationary spirals in Southeast Asia or heightened political strife in the Middle East, both currencies could face sharp devaluation within the next 3 days. That is not a distant possibility. It is a clear and present danger that threatens to erode purchasing power virtually overnight. The time to consider decisive steps is now. There is no room for complacency. You must weigh your options urgently. Converting part of your holdings into more stable currencies, precious metals, or other hedging instruments may be prudent. Do not wait for official commentary or confirmation from central banks. Market psychology is setting the pace, and once panic sets in, the window for calm, orderly repositioning can slam shut with devastating speed. Difficult as the decision may be, inaction could cost significantly more. Holding on, hoping for a reversal, is a gamble that the geopolitical and economic forces currently in motion caution against. Should public sentiment shift rapidly, social media and community forums could fuel a stampede of conversions, pushing the dong and dinar into deeper decline. Even rumors of intervention by monetary authorities would likely need days to materialize. Your 90-second delays are too long in the eyes of fast-moving capital flows. If you have access to banking or exchange platforms that allow quick action, prepare to use them immediately. If not, contact your financial advisor or local institution without hesitation. Communicate clearly that you are considering rapid currency reallocation and ask what mechanisms are available to expedite the process. Ask about transaction fees, settlement delays, and any limits on conversion. These details could be the difference between protecting your capital and watching it shrink. At the same time, keep one eye on official pronouncements. Central banks in both Vietnam and Iraq may intervene, but historically, their responses have been measured and delayed. You cannot count on swift rescue. You must assume that any official reassurance will lag behind market sentiment by hours or even days, and by then, devaluation may already be underway. Preemptive action is not panic. It is prudent stewardship. Investors who have already taken partial protective steps may still face turbulence, but they have options. If the dong slides further, the central bank may choose to raise rates or launch direct market operations to stabilize it. These moves, if they occur, could temporarily stem losses, and you should be ready to respond again. If you've moved into currencies such as the US dollar, euro, Swiss franc, or even into gold and other assets perceived as safe havens, consider allocating a portion back into the new rate environment once stability begins to return, but do so only when you see signs of credible, sustained policy support. For dinar holders, the risk is particularly acute. Iraq's economy remains heavily reliant on oil revenues, and any delays or disputes over budgeting, production quotas, or regional power dynamics can ripple immediately through the currency markets. Should foreign buyers pause contracts, or if OPEC talks falter, the dinar could react severely. But if agreements are reached, oil flows normalize, and domestic politics show signs of conciliation, recovery could begin swiftly. That said, this window may be microscopic. Decisions must be made within hours, not days. We cannot stress this enough. The next 72 hours are not a ceremonial grace period. They are a threshold. Once the momentum builds, whether toward further collapse or stabilization, the path forward will look drastically different. If markets anticipate further weakness, what starts as a slow slide can become a cascading collapse. Conversely, if distance is restored to the immediate threats, a rebound may follow, but only for those who have taken provisional steps to protect their positions and stand ready to re-enter. If you are watching developments in real time, prioritize trusted financial news outlets, reputable central bank statements, and direct market quotes. Resist sharing or acting on unverified social chatter, rumors, or insider tips that circulate in forums. In times like these, misinformation spreads as fast as legitimate news, and inaction caused by confusion is just as dangerous as overreaction driven by fear. To recap without repetition, if you hold significant holdings in Vietnamese dong or Iraqi dinars, take action now. Determine your liquidity options, evaluate conversion opportunities, seek professional advice immediately. Understand that markets move in fractions of seconds. Even if your transfer takes hours to clear, your order must be placed before the wave crests. Keep monitoring official news, but don't wait for confirmation. Prepare to execute decisions rapidly. In short, this is a time-critical moment in financial markets. The forces destabilizing the dong and the dinar are not distant threats, they are unfolding now. If you have hesitated, delay is no longer an option. The 3-day window opens and closes with astonishing speed. For some, the opportunity to shield assets may already be slipping away. This is your alert. This is your moment. Review your exposures, evaluate safe alternatives, act decisively, and do so without delay. Remember, whoever moves first often secures control in destinies shaped by chaos. This has been a breaking financial advisory.